Hey, it's Rick Quattro here. Yeah, so this is another question that was on the FrameMaker forum. We want to figure out how to make a quick change to a DITA template. So what we have here is we have this resource ID element, and we have the ID attribute set, and we have the app ID attribute set. And what you can see over here is that in this template, it shows the ID value. So if we were to change this ID value and we just added a little text here, you can see that that's what shows here. And what the user wants is they want this app ID value to show over here. So we can do this, and let's just figure out the best way to do it. So first of all, we have to figure out what template is being used for this particular document. So let's go here to the structure menu, and we'll say set structured application. And what this will show you is this is a DITA 1.3 concept. So now we know what it's using. Now if we go here to our application definitions, we're going to edit the global ones, and we're going to get this message that it's we don't have write permission, and that doesn't make any difference because we're not going to change it. We're just going to copy something out of there. So let's go to our structure view. And again, we want to find a DITA 1.3 concept. And there it is right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually copy that XML application. And then we can go ahead and close this. We don't need to save it. And then we're going to open up the user struct apps, which is this edit application definitions. It's not the global one. This is the user one. And this is in your user area. So you're going to have write permissions to this. And we're going to go ahead and paste this here. And what this will tell us is this will tell us what template is being used when we open up a DITA 1.3 concept. So what we want to look at is right here. So this struct dir, I'll show you where this is. This is a variable. But we want to get down to technical content template concept template.fm. And we want to make a copy of this because we don't want to edit the original one. We want to make a copy so that we can leave the original one intact. So let's see if we can find that. So we're going to go here. Let's bring this over here. And then we're going to go to C, Program Files, Adobe, FrameMaker 2022. And then we're going to go to the Structure folder. And we're going to go to XML. And we're going to go to, let's see what the rest of this path is. DITA 1.3, so it's app. And then it is technical content. And then it's template. And there's our template right there. So when we open up a concept in FrameMaker, we are using this template. You can see this is where really all the templates are. So if you have multiple templates that you have to edit, you may want to bookmark this folder. But for now, let's just right-click on this and copy it. Now let's find a safe place to put our templates. And usually you want to put your templates in the app data area because you'll have write permissions. So let's go ahead and type in this little shortcut. And this will take us to our user folder. And I'm going to go to Adobe FrameMaker 17, and I've created a folder in here called Carmen, and I'm just going to paste this in here. This is just for my personal stuff. Now I'm going to be able to edit this template. Now the one thing we may have to do is, because it came out of a read-only area, let's do right-click and do Properties, and yeah, it's marked as read-only, so let's mark it so that it's not read-only. Otherwise we'll have problems when we go to edit it. So let's open up this with FrameMaker. And we're going to open with FrameMaker 2022 in this case. And there it is. So there's our template. Now what we can do is we can make sure that we have the right template. And the way we can do that is we can go to our sample file and we can copy this and we can paste it in here and we can make sure that it's valid, which it is. So we know we've got the right template. So let's get rid of that. And what we'll do is now we need to edit the EDD. Now that's an element definition document, and that has all the rules in here. So what we'll do is we'll go to Structure, EDD, and we're going to say Export Element Catalog as EDD. Now we could find the EDD that this is originally used with the templates. The problem is that there's multiple EDDs, and some EDDs include other ones, and they're a little bit difficult to find all the moving parts. So I prefer to do it this way. I just go ahead and I create a brand new EDD, and then I can just edit this, and you'll see what I'm going to do here. So let me save this, and we'll just call this concept template.edd.fm, and you could make some specific name for your project or your company name, but that's okay. Well, we're just going to make it simple here. Now here's a little shortcut. If we press the Shift key and click this little left arrow next to the first element, then it'll collapse them all down. And the other nice thing about creating an EDD this way is that they're going to be in alphabetical order. So let's go to our sample file and see what we have to do here. So we've got to find this resource ID element so we can change the rules here. So let's go here, and then we'll scroll down till we hit the R's. Now one thing that's a little bit confusing here is that there's some of these elements have comments in them, and the comments show instead of the tag. So since they're out in alphabetical order, we can probably figure out where we're going here. So resource ID is probably this one. Yeah, that's the one we want. Now when you look at these, there's going to be some rules to these. So there's a prefix rule, and the prefix says resource ID, and you can see that here. It says resource ID. So we'll go ahead and change that. Let's change that to resource app ID. We'll just change that here. So it's better reflecting of what it actually is. And I don't know, I might tend to do that in lowercase, but let's just leave it like that. And then what we have is this is a text range, which isn't really important. We're not going to change that. But the prefix is this string here. And then the suffix actually has a building block. And the suffix is saying, give me the attribute value of the ID. And that's why we see that showing on the screen. So let's change that to app ID. So if we click in here and we type in app ID, and it's all case sensitive, it has to be exact, so we have to be careful. And then we can save the changes. So let's save the changes to this. And before we import this into our template, let's try it in our sample document. So what we do now is we say File, Import, Element Definitions, and we're going to choose our custom EDD that we just updated, and we're going to click Import. And we're going to get some messages here, some log messages, but we don't really care about that. So we'll just click OK. We'll click Done. And then you can see now that it's actually changed the prefix. Now it says resource app ID, and then it actually shows the value of the app ID instead of the ID. And to prove that to you, let's just make a change here. Let's go up here to the app ID, and let's just add some text here, ABC, and then we hit the Tab key, and you can see it shows right here on the screen. So that's how we do it. Now what we want to do though is let's close this. We won't save the changes. And let's import those element definitions into our template. And then we have to tell FrameMaker to use this custom template when it opens a concept. So we're not quite done here. So let's do File, Import Element Definitions. We'll import from the concept template EDD. And we're going to dismiss the log file and those messages. Let's save the changes. Now what we have to do is we have to tell FrameMaker that when you open a concept, you're going to use this custom template. So let's go back to our struct apps file. Everything else will be the same, but we need to change the path of this template. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in another variable here. And we're going to use a variable that just takes us to the user folder, the FrameMaker user folder. So let's insert a variable, and we want to use the user directory variable. And you'll see that that takes us to users, whatever your login name is, app data, roaming, Adobe, FrameMaker 17. And then the rest of this we can delete. Let's delete the technical communication part because we're no longer there. And so let's get the cursor in the right place. Now we did have another folder here. We put it in a folder called Carmen because that's our company name. You can do whatever you want there. And there's the path to our new template. And we can double check that. Let's double check it. And there it is right there. So there's our C users, Rick, app data roaming, Adobe, FrameMaker 17, Carmen, and then there's the name of the template right there. So that should work fine. Now what happens is this struct apps file gets read into memory on startup, and we can do a little shortcut here. We can just go up to the structure menu, say application definition, and then read application definitions, and that'll read it into memory so you don't have to restart FrameMaker. So now we can close that. Let's close our new template. Let's close our EDD. And we've saved that so we could use it later if we need to make other changes. Now let's open up our file. And let's see, I don't remember where it is. Let's see if it's in my recents. Yeah, let's see. Nope, I gotta find it. I don't remember where I put it. So we're just going backwards here. Bear with me. We got to be getting close. There it is right there. Okay, so there's my sample concept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop that into FrameMaker 2022. And you can see now that it's actually using that updated template. And if you're still not sure, we can try this. Let's do this real quick. Let's open up the template. And let's just put something in the top of the template here. So we'll go to Graphics, Tools, and we'll just put in something here. Custom concept template. And this is just to give us peace of mind that it's using the right template. So we'll close that, and then we'll open up our topic again. Delete me.xml, and there it is. So this just shows you it's using the correct thing. And of course we can see that in the structure view or in the attributes palette. There's our custom, and we can update that. Let's just add some string to it, and you can see it update here. So that's pretty much how you do it. You can do that with any of the templates you want. If you have any questions, just post them on the Adobe forums.